Welcome back. The 10th Ministerial Conference of the China-Arab States Cooperation Forum is held in Beijing, and the forum featured the participation of President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, Bahrain King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa, Tunisia's President Qais Said, and the United Arab Emirates President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan. To discuss this important event and more about the important files that were discussed over the phone, we have Ambassador Hassan Waguih, former Assistant Foreign Minister. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning, Mr. Ambassador.
Good morning.
So, first of all, talking about the importance of this gathering of these Arab head of states during this critical period of time, and of course talking about the current situation in the region.
Yes, of course, this is a very important summit. Egypt and China already have very good relationship, strategic relationship, and the visit of the president is to deepen this strategic partnership on all levels, economic, military, cultural, and it's a comprehensive strategic orientation of the two countries together, and they are working on deepening it. So it's an important summit, actually.
Right. How do you see the Chinese-Arab States Cooperation Forum as a crucial platform for dialogue and collaboration between Arab nations and China?
Yes, when it comes to having something called Arab Forum with China, it means that, this is very good for collective work, because we have to access the Arab Summit and the African Summit when it comes to the dealing with deepening the relationship with China. So we are here witnessing the Arab Summit, but also there is an African Summit too. So the Arab Summit here is very important because the Arab system needs to be together. So I think togetherness is very important in this to face unprecedented challenges to the area, and the president is working with his fellow presidents and head of states to deepen harmony and cooperation, to establish stability in the area, to establish economic progress, and to avoid what is happening, and to put an end to make a ceasefire in Gaza, and to put an end to this radical conflict by establishing two-state solutions. And I think these all issues were addressed in this summit.
Well, in what way we can describe this conference this year as special or different, especially when it comes to the fact that it's focused on conducting in-depth discussions on implementing leaders' common understandings, expanding China-Arab cooperation in various fields?
Yes, actually, you are raising here when you are talking about deepening the situation between the Arab states and China. Let us say something about cross-cultural communication. When we have in the world East and West, the West has some kind of different culture from the East. The East, which includes China, Egypt, and the Arab countries, are high context cultures, seeking harmony, seeking cooperation. If you are talking about cross-cultural communication, you can say it is important to avoid misunderstanding, it is avoid to cross over the barriers. But when it comes to our relation with China, we don't need these two things, because the third dimension of cross-cultural communication is to make the relationship much more meaningful, much more in-depth, much more for the benefit of each one. So I think here, East with East, the cultural stances are so similar. So I hope, inshallah, that this will bring much more cooperation and much more balance in this international system.
So how can we take a benefit or create this fact of having a common voice of China and Arab states on the Palestinian question?
Actually, it already exists. There is a common voice of putting an end to this I don't say it's stupid words. It's an unbelievable word, and it is going on for a long time now. So I think the one voice is there. Put an end to the war, establish a kind of two-state solution, address the radical elements of the conflict, and get it done. I think this one voice is clear. It's not only with China, but you have seen in the General Assembly where 143 countries in the General Assembly of the United Nations said what they said for the sake of Palestinian state and for two-state solution and for ending and put an end to this unbelievable, unfair war because it transcended the level of defending one's own self to escalating in a very haphazard way that no one can expect what could happen next. And this is very dangerous to the area and to the entire world. So I think the one voice is very important, and it is there, and it's also there by the resolutions given by the International Court of Justice and the Criminal Court of Justice. So I think the one voice is getting louder and louder, and I hope it will be implemented in a fashion that would establish the human international law and getting back to the disciplined world rather than this haphazard, chaotic order that we are witnessing all.
Well, we can see clear developments taking place in the Chinese-Arab relations, moving on or developing from partnership to strategic cooperative relationship, further to strategic partnership. Let's elaborate on this, and let's focus on the impact of this on the Arab countries.
Of course, this kind of cooperation will have excellent return for the economy of the countries, in both when it comes to Egypt, the Arab Summit, and countries, and also for China. So this cooperation and getting into this detailed discussions to deepen the understanding and to make it meaningful cooperation, I think this is very needed to have a higher return for such an economic and cooperation and actually cooperation in all fields.
Right, talking about the current situation, and many actually files were discussed, but we can see again that frankly speaking, we cannot achieve this stability in the region without reaching a solution to what is happening in Palestine. And despite of the fact that we can see now the majority all over the world, including nations, not only leaders, they are against this genocide war, yet still Israel continue, and the United States continue to support Israel in achieving more and more when it comes to killing these innocent civilians in Palestine. So how do you see the impact of this meeting and the fact of the recognition of Palestine as an independent state can help and support in this file?
Yes, actually this is the core and the interest and very important issue when it comes to Egyptian leadership in particular, and Egypt has been exerting a great deal of effort to establish peace in the area and to establish the rights of the Palestinians and to stop, of course, to stop this genocide, this crazy genocide that no one can accept no one fair-minded can accept it in the world. And you have seen collective stances, people in the American universities, people all over the world are going into demonstrations. So on the popular level, everyone became very aware of the real kind of conflict and real aware of the negative propaganda and the mixing of cards and the double standard. No one is accepting this anymore on the collective level in this world. So I hope that people would come back to their senses and they know that there is no other way but the peaceful way, the diplomatic way, stopping this genocide, getting back to the root of the conflict, and let us get to solve it for everyone and for the win-win for each one. But the continuation of the current situation, where we can see now when it comes to not genocide only, escalation when it comes to media wars. And I am warning the whole world from the misinformation and disinformation that really create an escalated atmosphere. So I hope people will be very, very careful and very aware not to believe anything the media, especially the Israeli and the American media, actually are doing. So I hope people would be watchful to that, because there are a lot of misinformation and disinformation being disseminated to the entire world. So I hope people would be aware of that.
So on the conclusion, just the final point, talking about the important kinds of mutual cooperation between China and Egypt. I mean, because of course, as you mentioned in the beginning, this will play a crucial role when it comes to improving the economic status.
Oh yes, of course. Egypt and the Egyptian leadership is very keen about enhancing all possible avenues and exhausting all possible avenues to enhance the level of Egyptian economy. And of course, the summit is a very good chance to work to deepen that kind of orientation and to get the best return out of the leaders' meeting, which is very important and very crucial event in not only in economy but in getting the stability for the world and put an end to this war in Palestine.
Right. Well, of course, talking about this current situation, and we all hope that we can really reach a solution for the current situation in Palestine and the one-state solution to be, because this is the only solution to reach. And when it comes to the collaboration among Arab countries, of course, we can consider it as an Arab, or this can be a superpower also in the region, the collaboration among Arab countries, especially a meeting with another major power, that is China. How do you see this, and this mingling or this cooperation, how do you see it in the future, and how we can take benefit of this?
Yes, I think it is very important and it is very needed to have a strong Arab system, because this could you hear me?
Yes, of course.
Yeah. The Arab system is very needed to establish stability and the peace in this area. Collective Arab work is a very important cornerstone for any move. And I think that that started out with China in Riyadh, the first round of this kind of gathering between the Arab system and Arab countries and China. So I think this is a continuation of enhancing the Arab system in one way, and also the international system by having moderate, a strong voice for the entire world to wake up from this kind of conflict that no one can benefit from at the end result of it. So I think the Arab Summit with China is important for the Arab system and for China and for the international community.
Right. Ambassador Hassan Waguih, a former Assistant Foreign Minister, thank you very much for joining us. And with this, we come to the end of our breakfast show for today. Thank you all for joining us, and stay tuned for more coming up on Nile TV International.